As cities grow, the well-being of its citizens hinges on sustainable management of resources, taking into account the long-term consequences of our consumption patterns. Waste management is a crucial civic issue which has serious public health consequences if not handled properly. Pune generates about 2,200 metric tons of solid waste every day. In the absence of proper management, this waste ends up being dumped in landfills and burnt indiscriminately to get rid of it. Burning of any kind, be it the combustion of fuels in vehicles or lighting bonfires for warmth or using wood for cooking, produce harmful pollutants which affect human health adversely. Adding to this pollution is the act of waste burning, which is still being done in our cities to get rid of different kinds of waste like garden waste, plastic, and so on. Landfills catch fire pretty regularly, especially in summers. They are also a source of greenhouse gas emissions and other pollution. Hence, cities need to substantially reduce or even eliminate landfills. This means ensuring that every type of waste is dealt with appropriately. There are different types of waste, namely wet waste, plastic, paper, biomedical waste, construction and demolition waste, e-waste, sanitary waste, garden waste, and so on. The solid waste management rules issued under the Environment Protection Act specify how each of these types of waste are to be collected, transported, and treated, and the responsibilities of the municipal bodies and waste generators. This also places a responsibility on citizens to segregate their waste and for the city to have systems to enable this to happen and process each stream of waste. Of course, reducing waste is a more sustainable solution. How does Pune handle its waste?
Pune has an extremely decentralized doorstep waste collection model. This was set up by the Pune Municipal Corporation in partnership with the Waste Pickers of Pune, forming a cooperative called the Swachh Pune Cooperative. What this system does is that it reaches to the true doorstep of every household that it attempts to service, which means that waste pickers come to the doorstep of the citizens, whether they live in a flat in a big building, or they live in a bungalow, or they live in a corner of some slum.
How does this reduce air pollution?
The fact that the waste pickers go to every doorstep ensures that we are able to have a very high level of segregation of wet and dry waste at source. This segregation then ensures that the organic waste or the wet waste can be composted or converted into biogas as close to the source as possible. This removes a large amount of waste from entering into the municipal solid waste management system, which involves transportation, processing, so on and so forth. The second part of this is that when the waste pickers go to the doorsteps, they also remove all possible recyclable material right from the doorstep of the citizens or right from the commercial institutions where they collect this waste. This recyclable waste which has been removed is then sent into scrap shops and then into the formal and informal recycling industry by the waste pickers. As a part of all of this, waste pickers are then reducing almost 200 tons or 2 lakh kgs of waste every single day from entering into the municipal system.
In spite of having a system to collect waste, we have all seen waste being burnt at the roadside, inside societies and campuses for different reasons. Citizens are observing these episodes of recurrent burning only increasing over the last few years.
With Pune's growth, the problem of garbage burning has only been growing year after year. The real reason behind this seems to be the lack of adequate ground staff being available from PMC's side for collection or for ensuring that there is no garbage burning happening throughout the day or even in the nights. First of all, they have to take up a huge task of installing CCTVs in the right places so that they cover most of the roads and the areas where these things are happening along with the rest of the city. Ground staff has to be present. There have to be adequate vehicles available for collection of even the garden waste that gets generated. Peripheral areas where, for example, the Pune-Bengaluru National Highway, its service roads, that is where people bring in their garbage in the middle of the night and they set fire to it. So a whole lot of monitoring will be required. Fines will have to be levied.
What is the Pune Municipal Corporation doing about this?
पुणे शहराचं क्षेत्रफळ हे 516 स्क्वेअर किलोमीटर आहे आणि पुणे शहराची लोकसंख्येचा विचार करता 40 लाखापेक्षा लोकसंख्या ही जास्त आहे. फ्लोटिंग पॉप्युलेशन जर त्याच्यामध्ये इन्क्लूड केले तर साधारणतः 60 लाखापेक्षा जास्त लोकसंख्या पुणे शहराची आहे. पुणे शहरामध्ये दररोज 2200 मेट्रिक टन कचरा जमा होतो. त्याच्यामध्ये 1200 ते 1300 मेट्रिक टन सुका कचरा आणि 900 मेट्रिक टन ओला कचरा हा जमा होतो. या शहरामध्ये कोणत्याही प्रकारे कचरा आपण डम्पिंग करत नाही. 100% कचरा हा प्रोसेस केला जातो. घनकचरा व्यवस्थापनामध्ये कचरा कलेक्शन, कचरा ट्रान्सपोर्टेशन आणि कचरा प्रोसेसिंग म्हणजेच कचरा जमा करणे, ट्रान्सपोर्ट करणे आणि प्रोसेस करणे ह्या खूप महत्त्वाच्या अशा ॲक्टिव्हिटीज आहेत आणि याच्यामध्ये जेवढा 2200 मेट्रिक टन कचरा जमा होतो दररोज तेवढा प्रोसेस केला जातो. कचरा जर रस्त्यावरती फेकला किंवा नाल्यामध्ये टाकला तर 180 रुपये पर दंडात्मक कारवाई होते. शिवाय कचरा जर जाळला तर त्याची दंडात्मक कारवाई ही करताना 500 रुपये दंड आकारला जातो. त्यामुळे कोणत्याही नागरिकांनी इथं तिथं कचरा न टाकता न जाळता तो आपल्या पुणे महानगरपालिकेच्या घनकचरा व्यवस्थापनच्या सिस्टीमलाच कचरा द्या. असं जर आपल्या निदर्शनास येत असेल की या ठिकाणी कचरा टाकला जातो किंवा या ठिकाणी कचरा जाळला जातो तर त्याच्याबद्दलची आपल्याला तक्रार करायची असेल तर PMC केअरवरती आपण तक्रार करू शकता किंवा स्वच्छ सर्वेक्षणच्या स्वच्छता ॲपमध्ये आपण तक्रार करू शकता.
While the helpline and the fines exist, several loopholes in the system mean that burning continues without much of a consequence.
The PMC Care portal, which has been in existence for some years now, quite honestly, it has not been as useful and as helpful, because by the time somebody posts a complaint over there about garbage dumping or something, the staff of that local ward office or the PMC in total, they are busy with their next day's work. PMC needs to set up a helpline, a dedicated helpline and a dedicated task force. They need to increase the number of people that they have in their sanitation department so that the garbage is prevented from getting dumped anywhere. There are people manning these areas to dissuade citizens from dumping garbage, burning garbage, and wherever required the fines have to be more. They cannot be just 200 rupees or 500 rupees. They have to be not less than 5,000 rupees.
What can we do as citizens to stop this burning and bring awareness about the health hazard that it is? A classic example of citizen-driven action is that of the Hinjewadi Resident Welfare Association. Hinjewadi, developed as an IT park in 2008, experienced rapid development, creating multiple issues for its residents like traffic management, waste management, and the consequent burning. Citizens came together to form Hirva and take matters into their own hands.
In 2017-18, Hinjewadi's Residents Welfare Association, which is a group of members of the societies, they took up these issues with the government. We have seen that some kind of initial traction happened with some government officials getting involved, tried to solve the issues, but it was not happening. So citizens then complained to Maharashtra Pollution Control Board, site visits happened, and areas where garbage dumping and burning used to happen frequently, they were identified. And citizens pooled together to deploy sensors. So air pollution sensors were deployed in strategic locations, which provided real-time data. They also did crowdsourcing of information where garbage is dumped and burned, and they made shareable links to Excel sheets and to photo albums where you could report which are the locations where this is happening. All the data got compiled and it was sent to the authorities. Some locations MPCB took action. They closed down these cement plants which are there in the residential areas. They also closed down some factories which were burning scrap. So some action did happen, but the problem of waste dumping and burning continued. And till now, it has not been resolved completely.
According to the emission inventory of Pune by ARAI done in 2021, open waste burning and residential pollution, which involves burning for cooking, contributes to 6% of the total PM 2.5 pollution. In an earlier film in this series, we have seen the impact of air pollution on health, especially of particulate matter pollution. With proper waste collection systems in place, complemented by strict enforcement for violators, this source of emissions can be eliminated completely.
वर्गीकृत कचरा द्या. पुणे महापालिकेच्या सिस्टीमलाच तुम्ही कचरा द्या. 3800 कचरा वेचक जे आहे स्वच्छ संस्थेचे ते पूर्ण पुणे शहरामध्ये काम करतात. या कचरा वेचकांना सेग्रिगेट केलेला कचरा जर तुम्ही करून दिला तर पुढची प्रोसेस करायला खूप सोपं जाईल. त्यासाठी कचरा इथं तिथं फेकू नका, रस्त्यावरती टाकू नका किंवा कचरा जाळू नका.